you know that it's replicable, right? You know that you can...
I not only replicate it, I teach it.
Yeah, you teach how to do it. And I think that's a really important thing for people to understand, is that whatever somebody else has done, if they know the recipe, they can
you're beautiful. You're just beautiful.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm giving the recipe in very, very simple terms. I don't know, I have a problem, my husband, my thing, my mom, I'm anxious, I'm depressed. Well, I can do something in terms of energy work with this. But by reading the book, you begin to see how you look for your own pattern, how you do it yourself, and how in the end, it's about surrender.
Because people learn through the story also. You could give all the principles, but if you didn't give your part of yourself...
Oh, I gave a lot of myself in this book, because for me it was hard to do it, and then I decided, someone said to me, Max, if you write 1 page a day, in 30 days you'll have 30 pages. And I started, and he knew very well I would never just do 1 page. But in the end, I was afraid I'd have a little book and they wouldn't be able to bind it. But finally, I couldn't stop. I had to put, stop to it. But it's a book that when you read it, it's easy to read. You don't have to begin in the beginning and end in the end. There's a lot about Iceland about it, and how how my business partner and I, and really my best friend, how we came to move here and why Iceland. And this comes to the times really that we're in now. I mean, these are times that I believe it's not so much that you rely on your government and that you get angry, but we come back to the idea of neighborhood. I know that Bjork is doing it. I don't know how much, and I don't want to get certainly into something I don't know well or know at all. But I do know that there must be people here that continue to have money. And I think that if it's a neighborhood, you help those people in your neighborhood. And if there were businesses, as an example, and those businesses needed only that little extra something to keep people working, that we could all come together, 300,000 people. This is a neighborhood. Again, I see it as simple, but it is simple.
Well, but what has to happen, though, it has to happen at a transformational, personal basis.
Absolutely.
Before it happens on a bigger scale.
Yes.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take a short advertisement break.
Okay.
And come back.
Is it one for me or for you?
No, it's for the station room. So we'll take a short break and we'll be back in just a minute. Ég heiti Guðjón Bergmann, gestur minn Maxine Gaudio, bókin hennar heitir Ferðalagið að kjarna sjálfsins. Við erum að tala ensku. Back to English, Maxine. Your message for the Icelandic people, you have a really strong message, and you're getting it out to the groups and through your book and everywhere. So could you share that with us a little bit?
It'd be my pleasure. It's the same idealism. But we're only 300,000 people. And if we really wanted to, we could come together and make change. There's a saying that I talk about a lot, that's a Chinese saying that says, if you want to awaken the world, awaken yourself. If you want to relieve the suffering and the sadness in the world, remove the negative and darkness in yourself. And if you want to make a real gift, it's the gift of self-transformation. But fine, so you begin to do that. But while you're doing that, and we're living in this country, I believe that people can take all the anger that they have, and they can put it to something important, because I believe that this country can become and will become the new world power. We have environmental technology that no one has. We have, water.
You're talking like a real Icelander.
I am an Icelander. I just can't get the language out. Give me sodium pentothal. Play a tape. But I really feel this way. The only thing is, I believe that all this stuff, all right, people get angry, like with disease, but all of this anger, if it's turned to something positive, we can be it, because we are it.
But what's holding people back, though, that's on the inside? It's not on the outside.
No, no, it's all on the inside. Because a lot of people here, certainly as everywhere else, think, what can I do? I'm only one person. I mean,
that's the old cliche that that holds everything back.
And what did Margaret Mead say? That's all that it takes is one person to change everything. And that is all that it takes. And certainly, if I can move to a different country and get a book out in Icelandic and talk about it, and move in this way, certainly people who are born here, I understand. It's not as though I don't understand that if you lose your job or you think you're not going to have enough money to feed your family, all these things that happen weigh on you. But I think that the individual, as with the nation, has to think, what do I do if I lose my job? What do I do if I'm depressed? You can't sit there and suck your thumb forever. You have to stand up and begin to take action.
That's the only way to change it.
So if we take action, and if we keep in mind that even though we're a small nation, we have something that other countries don't have. We have, probably because of genetics, I don't know, this is a country full of very brilliant people. The children are smarter than other children. I mean, it's just an incredibly strong country. And when I look at people here, it's as though there's something that grounds you and something that also goes up into the universe. So there's a kind of intense strength in Icelanders and a wonderful way of thinking. And although I was told for a long time that Iceland was full of very cold people, it's not true. Icelanders are very warm.
I'm sure people are sitting at home thanking you right now. Really, I mean, you're flattering Icelanders.
But it's the truth. I'm flattering myself. I consider myself an Icelander. And if somebody says, "Oh, you're American," or you know, I think, no, come on, this isn't fair. Just because. But it's not only flattering; it's the truth. But it requires organization. It requires people who feel that there's no reason why they should have to give. I'm not talking about loans. I'm talking about if you saw somebody in your neighborhood and they needed $3,000, let's say, 3,000 krona, or someone on the street, would you give it? Some people would give it and some people wouldn't. I used to give money to beggars on the street in New York who were obviously alcoholic, and that's what they were going to be, and they didn't want food. But I don't think it was up to me to decide what they did with it. It was up to me to decide if I wanted to give it or not. Sure. And I feel that here, it's a matter of if you would give that small amount to a friend or a neighbor, and say, look, don't bother about giving it back. I know things are difficult. There's illness in your family, or you know, your child, whatever, they would do it. So why wouldn't it be that those people who do have money would not think to themselves, this is my country? Not, I have it and I worked hard for it and I made it and those people didn't.